Que lo que readers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wendy. So today I'm going to be going over my TBR Jar reads. I placed a bunch of books in here that I have no idea what they are about. And I only went by what the book cover looks like and the title. And I added it into this jar, and it's kind of like a blind date with a book every month for me, which is kind of fun. Last month, I pulled two books. One of them was Spellcaster by Jaymin Eve, and the other was Hemlock&Silver by Kingfisher. I had no idea what these books were about. I will be pulling two more books to read for this month of December. So first things first, we are going to be talking about Spellcaster, what this book is about, and also I found it at Sam's Club, and take a look. This is how the book looks like, and look at the sprayed edges. I mean, freaking cool. It has a castle, well, the school. I was like, man, I need to snag this one. First of all, I absolutely loved the magic system in this book. This book is about witches and warlocks. It kind of gave a Harry Potter vibe without it being Harry Potter. It follows female main character, or FMC, Paisley. And Paisley is the youngest of 4 children, I believe. I think I missed maybe 1, maybe 5. She is the last one to go to college, and she is very family oriented. Her family is like one unit. And of course, her brothers and sisters went to Weatherstone, which is a prestigious college for witches and warlocks. Now, in this book, magic comes to those during their adolescence, and they kind of have an idea of what to expect from their magic. It's kind of like they have a calling towards animals, then there's fire, then there's your elementals, basically. So Paisley was adamant about getting into Weatherstone because A, she didn't know what her calling was as far as powers were concerned. And then she was also very sheltered. She's the baby. So when she got her acceptance letter in the mail, she was kind of like, did I really get this acceptance letter because of my merit, or did I get in because my father is a professor at this college along with my siblings? So she was kind of like in denial, like, okay, I got in, but I didn't place well on my testing scores. Don't know how I got this acceptance, but I'll take it. When Paisley and her father arrive at her first day in college, basically to sign her up, the professor or her father gets a message. And this message was that the Kingstons, or his childhood friend, is now coming back to the school along with his son. Then he is forced to tell Paisley about what their issues are, and it's not a little issue. I mean, they got beef forever. They are basically enemies, with good reason, because the Kingstons blame Paisley's family and her mother for the death of the Kingstons' mother and wife. Of course, the Kingstons do come back. The son, Logan, which is the MMC or male main character, they are sworn enemies. So this book is giving enemies to lovers, forced proximity because she can't get away from him. She's at college. And honestly, I have a bit of mixed reviews on this book. What I liked about this book is like I said, the class system, the magic, how everyone wields magic differently. And I also love that it's kind of like an academia, and it gave me the sense of a Harry Potter feel. I love the fact that it is an enemies to lovers trope. I love me a good enemies to lovers trope. What I didn't like about this book is that the FMC, Paisley, was a little annoying. I felt that she had to hate Logan, even though Logan didn't show her anything like as far as behavior to be hated on. I hope I conveyed that correctly, because that's exactly what it felt like. It felt like he didn't do anything to her. However, she's holding on to that family grudge and is told to stay away from him. However, they can't stay away from each other, and something draws them together. I feel that she is a 22-year-old and acts like a 16-year-old. I don't know if I like such a emotionally immature character in a female, especially in FMC. Maybe I like more emotionally powerful females in fantasy and in romantasy. I didn't get that from Paisley. Paisley to me seemed like she relies on her family a lot, but I understand understand that she is a family-oriented person and she feels comfort with her family. Every decision that she made in this book was for her family, or a sense of, oh, I need to hate this person because my family hates them. But in reality, Logan was just chilling. He was chilling. He was actually helping her and saved her a few times. So I just felt maybe the FMC, I just couldn't vibe with her. I also felt that a lot of the side characters, they were okay. They weren't impactful to the story like that. You know how sometimes there's characters in a book that are side characters, but that are meaningful, that actually you feel like you want to learn more about them? I didn't feel that with this book. And maybe it's the character development of this book. I feel that there wasn't much character development with side characters. It was more focused on Paisley and Logan. I just kind of wanted to skip her interactions with those characters, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. My rating for this book is 3.5 stars. I know. I really wanted to absolutely love this book because of how it is and how it was presented. I just didn't feel the pull towards it. Hi, this is Future editing me. I'm sorry. I'm editing this video and I realized something. I think I gave this book a higher rating than what I actually felt. I think I want to give this book 2 stars only because I'm reviewing this back and I think I was being a little generous with my rating. I want to say this book was a 2-star. I'm sorry. Okay. Back to the video. The spice in this book, I want to say maybe was like 2 jalapenos. I don't know, man. There was just, the romance in this book was just a little bit confusing. They're supposed to be enemies to lovers. However, it's not that he's her enemy. It's that he's the son of the enemy of her family. He doesn't really do anything to deserve the title of enemy. And he helps her. He saves her countless of times from death. There was no development with Logan except that he is a very quiet, very reserved, powerful person. There's so much mystery behind how they knew each other because they know each other since they were kids. But for some reason, Paisley doesn't remember and there's holes in her memory. So hopefully book 2 is way better. I'm not gonna knock it until I try it. But that is just my personal opinion on this book. There was just some sort of disconnect, unfortunately. The next book that I want to discuss that I pulled from my TBR jar is Hemlock&Silver by Kingfisher. Now, this book I was listening to on audiobook. I absolutely loved the audiobook. However, I DNF'd it. But first, let's talk about what this book is about. It is about Anja, and Anja is a poisons dealer. Like, she deals with potions and poisons, but she is considered a healer. What I gathered from it is that since she was a child, she developed a very obsessive interest in how these poisons worked, and she also experimented with like chickens and lizards and animals like that. It was kind of weird. But then again, like, how does science evolve? Science evolves by cause and effect and testing subjects. And of course, she wasn't going to test humans with those potions. One day, she got a visit from the king, and the king asked her, hey, my daughter is sick. We've tried different healers, different doctors from the city, but my daughter has been unwell for some time now, and we are coming at our wits' end. She decided to go with the king, and the king kind of introduced her to the court and to his daughter. Anja was coming up empty-handed every time she tested the potions, and she tested for poison on everything for that princess. And the princess's name is Snow. So with that being said, what I liked about this book is that while I was listening to it in my audiobook, I loved the writing and the narrating. I felt like the book had something witty about it. It was kind of like, you know, when you are thinking inside your head and you kind of had those inside voices, you're saying comments about something in your head that you don't want to say out loud. Yeah. This writing expresses that completely. So you get to know what Anja's thoughts are, what she says to others in her encounters. Her wittiness in her head is something that I enjoyed listening to. What I didn't like about this book, I think that I DNF'd it because I don't know if I like reimaginations of certain fairy tales. if I'm completely honest, once I got to chapter 13, I kind of left the book alone. I didn't listen to it again, and it was just kind of like, do I really want to go in through this rabbit hole of Snow White? It was different. What it feels like to me, it's kind of like, you know, when they made the live version of Disney movies, it's like, leave those alone. And a perfect example of that was Mulan. Like, Mulan and Snow White flopped as well. No pun intended. But that is just my personal opinion. And I think the author and her writing is very brilliant. I'm hoping that her other books aren't reimaginations of things, because I do have a few more in my TBR jar. I'm very interested to know what those books are about, because if they have the same writing and they are a different story from reimaginations, that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna swallow up her books. So I'm not judging this author by just one book. I am willing to give her a second shot, a second chance, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love her work if it's not a reimagination of a fairy tale. I don't rate my DNFs, I'm gonna put it that way. I don't even rate them on Goodreads. I just put them on a subcategory as a DNF, and I am sad because I really wanted to like this book. I really wanted to enjoy it. I was hooked on it at first, and then it became kind of like, oh, I'm not feeling it anymore. And that is okay. Not every book is someone's taste. So if you like reimaginations of fairy tales, this would be the perfect book for you. So in conclusion to these two books, did they live up to the expectation of me judging them by their cover and their title? No, unfortunately. And I really wanted to be like, I picked 2 5-star books. I wish I can say that, but this is my opinion on these 2 books. I am not deterring you from giving these a go and a try. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these 2 books, and let me know what you think of them. I want to know your perspective and what you thought. I'm gonna pull 2 books from my jar, so hopefully these books are better. All right, so I'm gonna pick purple this time. I'm gonna pick a purple one, and I'm gonna pick a orange. Let's do orange. All right, let's open up the orange first. All right, so this one is Zodiac Shadows by R.C. Luna. Hope you guys can see that. Zodiac Shadows by R.C. Luna. From my understanding and the cover of this book, I was intrigued because I saw a Latina main character. Also, I love Zodiac Academy, so I was intrigued with the title Zodiac Shadows. I want to know what it's about, and I am hopeful for this book. Let's open up the purple scroll. Man, I really hope this one is another winner. Kiss of the Basilisk by Lindsay Straub. Hopefully I said her name correctly, but yes, Kiss of the Basilisk. So my hope this month is that these 2 are 5-star reads. I have very high hopes for them. I hope I enjoy them, and I hope that I can come back next month and talk to you guys about amazing reads. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for listening to me. And if you want to follow me on my journey in this small space, in this small corner of booktube, don't forget to subscribe. And if you feel like this video spoke to you, give it a thumbs up. And thank you guys, and I will see you next time.